I've inserted in my script here that think of a name for the episode, but I thought we could do that as we were doing the episode. So
Chris can't play golf.
That was a running theme of the day. Yeah, okay. Chris can't play golf. The Hindhead Golf Club review.
Perfect.
Well, look, we've got a real treat for everyone today. So we've been out playing on a pretty amazing course, actually. I think we're all agree on that, which was Hindhead Golf Club. The club have been unbelievable with us.
Yeah.
We've been treated like royalty. We're in the meeting room at the minute, and we played golf with two very special guests, and they've got a fantastic story to tell, which we'll get to. They are Andrew and Tony, but we'll also later in the episode hear from a gentleman called Jack Buchanan, who is the president, no less, of this fine golf club. Now, he was kind enough to be interviewed by us earlier today, and you know, we had a great time with him, didn't we? He was a true gentleman.
Yeah, he was a top guy. He was.
Yeah, and the engagement we've had from the club has been unbelievable. We walked in and they said, "Are you with the society?" We said no. They went, "Oh, you're the podcast people." Like, yeah, we
The
are.
podcast guys,
Yeah.
that's us.
What gave it away, you know? But shout out to Chris, who's the general manager of the club, and he reached out himself after he found out that we were playing and sort of set everything up. So he's been great, and obviously Andrew, who sat with us. So thank you for getting us on, Andrew. Now, yeah, we should do some intros. So we have got here Andrew and Tony, who's his playing partner and fellow member of the
Hello
club.
there, how are you?
Yeah. Now we're going to start, and we've been doing it as we've been going round. So massive thank you to you guys for getting us on in the first place. We really do appreciate that, and it came out of the blue. And honestly, when I said in the preview, the email when it came in, I was like, "This is the greatest email I've ever received." It really wasn't that hyperbole. It was unbelievable. I was on holiday, and I was like, "This is amazing. Like, this is so good." So thank you, and thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast with us. I don't think you quite know what you let yourself in for, but that's fine. Now, first question, we've got to get it out of the way. Don't be too truthful, but what was your experience like playing with myself and Chris?
Can we just keep it to you?
Should we get the elephant in the room out of the way? Right? Chris had a terrible round, by the way, but what was your experience like playing with us?
Yeah, I wish I'd been on your team, Nish.
So do I.
Of course, I had an absolutely unbelievably great day.
I mean, me and Tony bossed it, right?
Yeah, smashed it from the minute we were partnered up on the first tee. You just knew straight away that we were going to smash it.
Do you know what? You
There
two
was
guys,
never any doubt.
you stood up on the first tee and you were like, "This is the winning team." I was like, "These fucking idiots!" Like,
We've got it.
We're gonna take these two down today. And then I hit a golf ball and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
What's the phrase?
You nearly made the fairway.
Did I? I don't remember that.
Pride comes before a fall, but
Yeah.
no. I think we knew straight away.
I'm not sure that we were ever behind.
Do you know
I mean,
what?
maybe Andrew could enlighten us, but I don't think we were ever behind.
I don't think you were.
I know for a fact.
But
you
you're
were.
always within reach. You're always within reach.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly, so we played an interesting format today, actually. So we had our little side bets and things like that. We were doing all of that. But Andrew introduced us to something which you straight away were like, "Oh, it's an Aussie thing, oh God," you know. But
Yeah.
it's called 666.
666, yeah. So you play in pairs. The first 6 holes are best ball for each team. The second 6 are additions. You add the Stableford scores for both players. And the third, which is actually the last 6 holes, is when it all happens. You multiply it. So of course, if you get a white, your team score is effectively 0.
Zero, yeah.
And
He took
strangely, we played all the
Happened
time in
quite a lot with you,
Australia.
didn't it, today? Not naming any
But at the
names,
end of the
but
day, it's amazing how many times you sit in the 18th tee and it's still
Yeah.
game on.
yeah,
We've had lots of experiences and we're playing and there's like 1 point in it going on to the 18th.
yeah.
And it's, you know.
It's a tried and tested formula, isn't it?
I just realised that it might actually be your fault that I played so badly today. Like 666, the number of the devil.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
I mean, that can be the only explanation for my
You
goal
don't want to look
today.
at the back of his head, is all I could say.
Well, I think you're probably all gonna, on whichever version that you're watching or listening, you're gonna get an idea of. We've had a great day of kind of good golfing banter, good golf just generally anyway.
Excuse me.
Generally.
Three of us have, yeah.
Three of us had a fantastic day. Now, we do actually have something in common with you guys, and that is you're trying to play the top 100, and you're much further down the line, and we're trying to play the top 100. So it wasn't just a come and play Hindhead. There was actually a little bit of more backstory about it. So, you know, tell us how many courses you've played so far, and how you're kind of finding that experience. Because we're only 11 in now. You're how many down the line now?
We've got to 61. We've done it fairly quickly, which is great because the inflation and the prices of green fees is going up and up. So the quicker you can get them in, you make savings. But no, I mean, I did stumble on when Tony and I had played the two North Wales courses, Aberdovi and St David's. I did find your podcast on the chat and I listened to it and I thought, well, these guys are enthusiastic.
I mean, that's about all that can be said for us. After playing with us today.
I love that. These guys are enthusiastic. There's no comment about the golf or anything like that. Oh, bless them. Aren't they enthusiastic?
Well, look, I mean, in fairness, Tony and I have bored everyone in Hampshire about the top 100. So we thought, well, let's see if we can bore some people from Manchester.
They might be a bit more receptive to the top 100 chat.
I mean, how are you finding it? I mean, what number are you on now? What's the
61?
61.
Some of us on 61, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Some of us are
there's
on
a very
58. Seeing,
Yeah,
so
it's a bit of a
I didn't
split.
manage to get to the last three, unfortunately.
So
So
we-
Tony picked a
Solidarity here, we've played the same number of courses,
Yeah.
so you know.
although actually no, I have played 59 because I've actually done the old courses and
Twice,
twice.
instead of actually surrendering your
Uh,
second
yeah,
spot.
I could have given my second go to Andrew, but I thought, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll just take it again, see if I can have a better round.
no gimmies. No gimmies.
Exactly.
I feel like there's like a mirror. There's like a mirror with this because you know I've played the course that shall remain nameless, Birkdale Bay. I've played that twice, and I've not passed one of those over to you either.
Very
so-
true, actually, yeah.
Yeah. What made you get into it? What made you start it? And what-
Do you
okay.
actually remember? Because I remember.
Well, you go first.
All right.
I'll correct you as you go along.
So I think we've been doing this for like 2.5 years. And I remember prior to that we were members here and we were loving this course and it was great, but occasionally we'd go and play another course, go to Hailing Island or we'd go to Lip Hook or whatever. And I remember us both being really excited about playing a new course. It was like, okay, excellent, what's it going to be like, you know? It was just an exciting time. And I remember Andrew, you'd obviously thought about it, you'd been thinking about it a while, and one day came up to me and said, you know, how do you fancy doing the top 100 UK and Ireland? I went, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. You know, why not? So we just threw ourselves into that sort of, you know, endeavour. It was, you know, that was it. It was as simple as that, really. That's my memory of that.
No,
An interesting question. Do you still have that same level of excitement now you're going out to the
Oh,
new course?
100%.
Yeah.
Every time
So
I play,
excited.
every time we play a new course,
Yeah.
it's like you can't
driving into the car park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you literally go, well, let's part it. No, I don't want to part. I just want to get on the course and play.
yeah.
And you want to know what all these, you know, you play these top 10 courses, top 20 courses, and you think, oh, what's it going to be like? And sometimes, you know, we have been disappointed, hence playing top 90 courses and being, you know, like, wow, aren't they great? But it's just the excitement of what's this course going to give you? What's it going to show you? And you sort of had that today, you guys, by coming to Hindhead and being quite enthusiastic about the first 9 holes, and then going, well, actually the back 9 were also quite good as well. And it's just that excitement about a new course. You know, what's it going to show you? And there'll always be a hole or two that you go, wow, you had to think about that hole. There'll always be a hole or two that you play unbelievably well. You would take away from that course.
Actually, Not a single hole did I play well today. Can we just get that in there? Not one.
Well, I'm hoping that hasn't like detracted from
Well,
the,
no,
you know, the
It
course.
wasn't distracted at all. In
Can
fact,
I
quite the
call a
opposite.
point of order on this?
Okay.
It's supposed to be me ripping you about your golf. You can't do it to yourself.
No,
That's
right,
not
okay.
fair.
Do self.
Yeah. I was supposed to go. I'm
No.
fine. I did okay, didn't I? No, you didn't, Chris. It was terrible.
So is that how you remember it, or?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel the same sort of excitement when you drive into a car park or a golf course that you haven't played before. But I don't know. I mean, I love Hindhead, but at the end of the day, I stand at the tee. I know exactly where I should put the ball, where my first shot's going to be, where my second shot's going to be.
Word.
Yeah.
Well, should, yes. Whereas I love playing the new courses because you stand on the tee block and you're actually sitting there for the first time and going, how do I play this?
Yeah, no, but your ball's still going to go to the right of the fairway. I mean, it's not going to change much.
Well, okay, do I go a hard right or a soft right?
Is that a power?
What degree
is
of
it a
right are
power
we going to go?
phase?
This hole.
Who won today?
I know, but now you've got a shot or two of me now, so what can I say?
I feel there's good. I mean, it's great. It's encouraging, isn't it? The guys are on 60. They've still got the same enthusiasm as they did.
Oh, we're starting to get apprehensive about what happens when we finish.
Yeah.
We're
We're
not doing that. We've already done 10.
I'm just waiting for Andrew to come up with another list that he'll probably change every 6 months, but it doesn't matter. At least it'll be another list.
Correct. There's something to do.
Yeah.
Fill the void. can't
Exactly.
you? Yeah.
Exactly.
Which
I
way
mean,
do you go?
that's-
Do you go up to the top 100 in the world, or do you go down to like the top 100 in
I think there
Hampshire?
might be some in Oz that I'd like to think that in the not too distant future I might go to Oz and play a few, but I think
Far
there's.
to go.
I also think there's some. I think we can knock off a few European courses.
Yeah.
But let's face it, there aren't that many. I think we worked out the other day. There's probably
Yeah,
only
no,
10.
if you look at the
Yeah,
top
it's like
European
America, UK,
Yeah,
a
and
few in
Ireland,
Oz.
Scotland.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
in Europe there's a handful.
There is only.
I mean, so-
Japan as well. There's quite a few over there. As
Yeah.
well, isn't there?
So I'm not sure that would be the next list. I don't know.
No, I think that we're going to do 200.
200.
Are we?
The second
We're not
one.
going to do the first 100 again, are we? Or
No,
just-
no, no.
We're going to do the next 100, like that. 100.
You're already ahead, so you play St Andrews twice. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to do 101 to 200.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, they're all going to be shit compared to the first 100, aren't they?
Do you just do like the top 100 pitching puts in the UK? Just go like
Top
other end,
100
other end of the scale.
adventure golf.
Well, we're going to discuss this, aren't we? But I mean, I must admit, we've been quite surprised how some of our favourite courses have been at the upper end of the rankings rather than the lower end of the
That's
rankings.
true. That's true.
In fact, some of my favourite courses have been in the 90s.
Yeah.
Southport and Ainsdale. I love Southport and
Interesting.
Ainsdale. I
Yeah,
just I did play well. It was a nice
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is something we can also discuss about how the weather and how well you play influences your impression
Castle
of the
course.
golf course. St Andrews Castle course.
Great call.
Doak said he gave it 0 out of 10. We loved it.
Yeah, it was
well, he was a bit
No,
Abomination
harsh
of
about
Scottish golf. I
it.
think,
What
you know,
was it? An
really-
abomination, he said.
Yeah, abomination.
Yeah,
of Scottish
abomination.
golf.
It
I
should
mean,
have
that's
been.
a bit harsh.
Strong, isn't it? That strong words.
Yeah,
but-
and it wasn't an abomination. It was a great course.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, what do you feel has been your favourite course so far? Is that a question that's
It's a
difficult
tough
to
one.
answer?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Tony and I have actually always found that we've been a bit disappointed by the highly rated courses. So you go there with expectations, and maybe the expectations are the problem, that it doesn't live up to expectations. But we've absolutely loved some of the courses in the 90s.
Yeah.
When I mentioned Southport now, so Brora is just a fabulous,
Oh, bro,
fabulous, fabulous day.
Yeah.
And we've been disappointed. I'm going to single out Royal Dawn. Was it Royal?
No.
Yeah.
Was it Royal Dawn?
It is Royal
It
Dawn.
was so
Yeah.
bad you can't even remember the name anymore. It's out of my memory.
It felt like a sort of sausage machine. We were greeted nicely, but we're put in a queue. And
Yeah.
But to be fair, that's happened on a lot of those big Scottish
Big
courses.
Scottish courses.
You end up. It's,
I mean, ultimately
it's
you-
like a machine. You know, you turn up there and you're waiting, and the guy that's helping the guy. You know, the people tee off is giving them the speech, and you're listening to the speech. and you go, okay, and then you go up there and you get the same speech. And it's just like as Andrew said, it's like a machine, and they don't really care. There's nothing special. It's just like, here you go, and all they're trying to do is get, let's face it, it's a money making thing. They just want to get as many people, mainly Americans to be fair, through as they can, and they hike up, as Andrew said earlier on, the fees now are gone through the roof. When we started off, it was whatever, and it's in some instances doubled now. You're paying.
You guys were doing about what, 3.5 years? Is it 3.5 years? Something like that.
22, I think we started.
I mean that's a crazy short time for it to.
Inflation. There's an interesting story about that. So there were some courses in Scotland that are not necessarily in the top 100, but are top courses.
Yeah.
And they didn't understand why they weren't getting any punters in, compared to the biggies, where they're charging £400-500 a round. And someone just said to them, put your prices up, and they'll flood in.
Yeah.
Guess what? They put their prices up from maybe £200 to £300-500. Everyone flooded in. All the Americans flooded in, because the Americans, as far as I can say, just went back. Sorry, I hope there's no Americans listening to this.
There's
probably so we've got a fairly big American presence.
I'm sorry to say this, but in fact,
Stop ruining our golf.
they flooded in, and it was because people didn't know any better. They went via price, maybe, rather than anything else, which I think is obviously a classic mistake. But obviously those courses were happy after that, because they had all the people going.
But it's interesting what you say about that kind of sausage factory, and we've not really experienced that in terms of those big clubs yet. But coming here today feels like a real golf club. It feels like it's a real golf club filled with real members who are just here for the golf course and here for the club that's surrounding that as well. It doesn't there's nothing about it that feels kind of elevated in terms of.
We had a bit of a chat about we had a 4.5 hour journey down, so we had plenty of time to talk. And Chris has got an electric car now, so we've got to stand around for half an hour while it's charged. 2%. But we did actually seriously have a chat about our excitement level for today. And of course, you guys have listened to the preview, and hopefully people have listened to the preview. Now, the golf was getting us excited. The engagement for the club was getting us excited. But also just the general vibe that we got about coming to Hindhead. It all kind of led to us just being really giddy today.
Yeah.
And I think we're there. It's great to hear you have this excitement every single time you go and play. That's wonderful, because that bodes well for us.
Yeah.
And how much does it elevate it as soon as you get somewhere? You just go, it's really welcoming. Like, this is great. Just all the bar staff have been amazing with us.
Yeah.
Like, everyone being really courteous, and they'll do anything to make sure that we're welcome. I actually get the feeling it's nothing to do with the fact that we've got one of these in front of us. I think they're just nice to everyone.
They treat you the same way. They're just all brilliant here.
Yeah.
And
and I think just talking about that anticipation, so you were saying earlier, some of those big courses, you go in there with high levels of excitement and anticipation. We were probably the most excited. We looked at the course and I think we're both really excited about it.
Yeah, and that was just a golf thing, that was even before any club stuff.
It's exceeded our expectations, hasn't it, today? I think.
I said to you, so didn't I? I was like, today has actually, it's hard to believe this, but it has exceeded our expectation of what today was going to be.
Which is pretty good going, isn't it? Because our expectations were pretty high to begin with.
Can't speak highly enough of the club and some of the members.
Not these two.
They
seem like nice.
I think also when you go to these big sort of sausage factories, if you want to call them.
I mean, what are we going to call them? Call them like corporate golf clubs.
Yeah, but it's also it's like one foursome after another, and you're looking in front and behind, you're looking behind you, you're worried, we're playing a bit slowly. And when you go to clubs that are maybe not so highly rated, it's a little bit more relaxing.
Yeah.
You don't. You get. Sometimes you'll have. I mean, I think we've had this. Haven't we had someone come round once saying hurry up?
There's a donut.
Was it donut?
We got hurried up and donut.
You
got a time schedule.
Well,
because we were right behind the group in front of us. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
I think he's just paid to tell people to hurry up.
And it's a bit like, start your round, hurry up, get out, so we can get the next load in.
Yeah.
And you sort of instantly, you're angst about it. You're just like, I can't be bothered with this. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Actually going back to
Turn
what
off
you
a
said
bit.
earlier on, the next 100, as in 101 to 200, could actually end up being a better experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we loved all the courses in the 90s.
In that lower.
But I think we're the same. I think like
Yeah.
some of our favourites have been like Queens, Moortown, here.
That's mostly what we played, mate. So.
Anyway.
No. I think experience-wise, that has definitely been a thing. So, look, that's not a criticism of the clubs at that top level, because ultimately they've got hundreds of people playing on that course every single day.
Yeah.
Like, I've worked in a not hospitality, but I've worked in like a customer-facing business where if you've got that many things going on and that many people, it's difficult to keep that same energy with everybody. And if that's happening every day, 365 days a year, that's hard. It almost becomes a robotic thing.
It
doesn't
makes it about the money they're not.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing, though, isn't
Exactly.
it? And then it's not now about golf and experience. It's just
How much money can we get in?
Yeah.
Basically.
go and spend some money in the gift shop,
Yeah.
get out.
But-
Make sure you pass that through on the way out. That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
But your experience of County Down, which is number one on the list, wasn't like that then. Is
That was refreshing, because I've got to admit that I had already sort of built up this view that the top rated courses were not going to be what I liked.
Yeah.
But Royal County Down, I just thought was head and shoulders above anything I've ever played.
Yeah.
I mean, just the most beautiful course, challenging. I was sort of apprehensive before I actually hit any shot, but I just loved it. I thought it was perfection as
I
far as I was
mean,
concerned.
I watched a bit of it on the Irish Open, I think, last year, and I was like, I mean, that looks like a genuinely difficult golf course to play at any
It
level.
was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
I didn't have the same experience.
Okay.
What? I mean,
Well, we played. We played County Louth. Then we played Royal
County
Louth.
Louth.
County Louth.
Yeah.
Royal County Down, followed by Port Rush.
Okay.
And actually, this brings on to quite an important point about why do you think a course is good? So, there's only one answer about why he thought Royal County Down was good. I mean, it's a great course, and I thought it was a great course. He played it quite well. I had a terrible round.
But there were a lot of left to right dog legs on County Down.
No,
The power fade came into play.
Yeah, it was all left to right. Look,
Yeah,
all left to right. All left to right.
Yeah, my slice.
I don't think I could putt that day. However, County Louth, we both played well, to be fair. And Royal Port Rush, 35 points off 10. I thought that was handy. They were building it at the time for the Open,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
nice walking down the 18th with all the stands there and parring the 18th. So of course I think, Port Rush is absolutely superb course.
Yeah, I mean,
it's better than Royal County.
Tony beat me at Port Rush. I hate Port Rush. Port Rush is just a stain on my memory.
But I think
So
Port
it's-
Rush is part of the reason that we're doing this, because I did a little trip with the family, and we went to Port Rush, and I just kind of drove above it on the road there and just kind of looked down onto it, and I was like, oh my god, this looks like an incredible place.
And it was an incredible course.
Yeah.
I mean, scores aside, I have to say that Royal County Down was a superb course.
Yeah.
I can't say I enjoyed it.
Oh right, okay.
But-
Because it was too difficult.
No, it wasn't too difficult. I just didn't play very well.
Right, okay.
So,
But
so
then-
it was a beautiful course. I can't deny how beautiful
Yeah.
and and how wonderful the course is. But if you said, did you enjoy it, Tony? I'd have to say, not really.
No.
But then, and it's interesting, because when we first started this, we had 3 or 4 rounds under our belt. We played a few well, and we played a few really badly. And I think at that point I was finding it difficult to disassociate the round with how I played. But actually, 3 of my favourite rounds that we played so far are Ganton, here, and Selith. And they're by far the 3 worst rounds that I've played. I mean, today is, it's markedly above those two. It's the worst round I've probably ever played. in my
I don't
entire
know if
life.
it's come up so far, but Chris had an absolute fucking
But that's it,
Well,
it's
I
interesting.
really enjoyed myself.
I
today.
find
I
that
had a clean
interesting
sweep.
because so you don't necessarily judge the course on. I mean, you can judge a course as a golf player, as in you can tell whether it's a goodie or a baddie.
Yeah.
But then your enjoyment factor is surely. I mean, I think we both think that the enjoyment factor is part of how you play the course. What's the weather like? If it's a lovely sunny day, brilliant.
Yeah.
If it's absolutely howling it down, you're pissing the rain, 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's not great. However good the course is or supposed to be, it's not a great experience on that particular day.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be very difficult to kind of split those two things up. But actually, when I look back at it,
I'm so bad at golf. I don't find that difficult at all. Everywhere I play, I don't have a particularly good round, so I'm able to almost disassociate that stuff.
so you said I just need to be shit more consistent.
Basically, I want you to be really bad.
Just play like I did today every time.
Yeah, so all of the bets that we're doing is either just keep losing them, mate,
Fine.
and then
Okay.
yeah.
I
need all
you
that.
might catch him after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, okay, we're going to get onto the golf that we played today, and we're going to talk about the course shortly. But before we do that, we're going to listen to the gentleman we mentioned before, and that was Mr. Jack Buchanan, who's the president of Hindhead Golf Club. Now, he's a very long time member. He's been a past chairman, he's been a past club captain, he's been a past trustee, and a past director. In addition to that, he served Surrey Golf as a volunteer and has been the chairman and president of the county. And then on top of all of that, Jack was a good friend of someone I think every British golf fan will know, the voice of golf himself, Peter Allis. So, hello Jack, we're delighted to have you on the podcast.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, gentlemen, and welcome to Hindhead. I noticed in your introduction there was a lot of past.
Sorry about that.
And that I think about sums it up. Here we are, but I'm still here, so I'll be delighted to have a chat with you today.
Wonderful. Now, we're in the clubhouse today and we're in the Gallagher room. Now, Jackie, I think we're going to get down to some questions because I think we've got so much to ask you about this wonderful club. We've done the preview of the course and the history and finding out about things like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and just kind of the establishment of the club, and we've done our course preview. I think it's fair to say we're pretty excited about getting out there.
Very excited, I think. Yeah, I think we said in the preview that I think it's one of those courses that we both looked at and said that looks exactly up our street. It's slightly unique in terms of its characteristics. It looks like it's pretty beautiful out there. I think to go around. I think when we're playing poor golf, I think it's great to, like you were saying earlier, to be able to have a look at some nice vistas whilst we're playing some terrible golf.
You look forward to your game, boys. In my view, there's not many better places to spend an August afternoon than Hindhead Golf Course. It really is. It's a good track, good golf course, but it's scenic.
Yeah.
And I really hope you'll enjoy it. My one piece of advice is keep out the heather.
Okay.
Fairways and greens, that's my advice, and
Okay.
you'll have a wonderful time.
Jack, please don't be offended if I don't take that advice. I think I'm going to be in there quite a lot. It just looks wonderful, doesn't it? We actually were very complimentary about the club's website in our preview because as we've been looking at courses in this preview, then we do go through all of them, and it does feel like a lot of them are very standard. They're all the same, they're all done by the same company, that kind of thing. But it's always a pleasant surprise when you jump on somewhere, and I love the fact that you get the view from the tee, the approach, and the view of the green. And I feel like I've kind of visualised the course quite well already, and that front nine is just stunning, absolutely stunning.
I totally agree with you. It's interesting because when this course was first built, the first golf course in the area was the Hindhead and Hinkley Common Golf Club, but that was away down the valley.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people who played golf at the time, the wealthy people, if you like, lived at the top of the hill here at Hindhead.
Okay.
And there was a desire to find somewhere to play up here rather than have to go down there. 120 odd years ago, it was difficult to get from down there back up here with whatever type of transport you had available to you at the time. So the land was sort of put together, and unfortunately we're on top of a hill, you know, but you can't do anything about that. And there's fissures going down, you know. The course was laid out just over a couple of valleys, and then a bit of a plateau. You know, you play down one valley, play up another valley, and then you come up and you play some holes up the top.
On the top,
but it's 18 individual holes. You know, there's no two holes the same really. And each one has a different and a challenge that I hope you respond to, and I hope you play well.
Well, I'm not sure we'll respond to it, but we'll certainly enjoy it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chris has probably been a little bit modest. Chris is pretty good at golf. It's just sporadic. That's the.
I was pretty good at golf.
That's very unusual for golf.
Yeah, it's that mythical consistency we're all looking for. We never find it. Wonderful.
So just for a bit of context, how long have you been a member at Hindhead?
Oh, I moved to Churt. I bought a house on the northern boundary of the course in 1976.
Okay.
I don't know when you boys were born, but that's when
About 10 years after that.
I immediately joined the golf club. It was quite interesting in that I qualified as an engineer in 1966.
Okay.
Still lived in Scotland, still lived at home.
Yep.
So I applied for a few jobs away from home, offered a couple of jobs in Canada and one in Weybridge in Surrey.
Okay.
And in the summer of 66, I thought, well, I'll come and have a look at Weybridge in Surrey. And I came down here for a bit of a holiday. The weather was lovely, and there was a football tournament going on.
Oh, yeah. Very obviously.
Would you believe we won the first game? And, well, when I say we, England won the first game, and then the second game, won the third game, and eventually won the final, as you know, the 1966 World Cup, Football World Cup. And that was wonderful. I mean, the whole place, the atmosphere, the attitude, everybody was having a ball that year. So it was fantastic. So I was a decent golfer at the time.
Yeah.
Weybridge in Surrey, I went along to St George's Hill Golf Club.
Yeah.
And inquired about membership. And they said, well, I could get on the waiting list, which was about 6 or 8 years estimated at the time. So not very good for a 23-year-old with a possibility of Canada living. Went along to Burr Hill Golf Club, and they offered me immediate membership. But the cost to join, you know, the annual subscription and the joining fee equated to the cost of a house in the village I just left in Scotland. So I couldn't bring myself to do that. And apart from that, I didn't have the funds anyway. So so it wasn't. I didn't join a golf club for 10 years. But when I moved here, our company secretary was the captain of Liphook, which is only about 5-6 miles down the road here.
Yep.
Another great golf course, good golf club. So he said, well, come and join Liphook. And I thought, well, thank you very much, but there's a golf course at the end of my garden. So, you know, I might like to join that one. Anyway, eventually he capitulated, and he invited me to lunch to meet someone that would get me into Hindhead Golf Club. In the event, I couldn't go to the lunch. I had to go on a business trip. Came back from the trip and had a letter from the Hindhead Club inviting me for an interview. So I came along. The office upstairs was the interview room. A panel of about 6 or 8 or something. Question number 1, how long have you known Mr. Irwin Brown?
each.
24 hours or so?
Well, I didn't know, Mr.
No, at all,
I
okay.
did, you know, we hadn't had that pleasure. So that was quite, you know, that was quite entertaining, and we had a very good meeting. Eventually they offered me membership, subject to applying and etc. And you know, I'm really just so pleased to be a member of this golf club. It's a very good, it's a good track.
Yeah.
It's you'll find it's lovely. It's just a wonderful place to be, as I said previously.
Yeah.
But it's a good club.
Yeah.
It really is a good club. It's a good membership here. It's eclectic, but it's social. It's friendly.
Yeah.
And you can always get a game at Hindhead.
And do you think that's what separates it? Because obviously, like you just alluded to, there's lots of brilliant golf courses around this area, isn't there? Kind of
Fantastic,
sort of west of London.
Smiled.
What do you think separates Hindhead from those other clubs? Is it the kind of social aspect?
Yes, I think that we are living in this west side of Surrey. You know, if you just think of the golf courses in this, you know, they're fantastic golf courses.
Yeah.
You know, 20 of them.
Yeah.
And I couldn't say one golf course is any better than another golf course. They're different. They've all got their own quirks.
Yeah.
But the clubs are different. The clubs can be very different, as you can understand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This Hindhead is probably one of the friendliest of the clubs. Some other clubs might not agree with me on that, and there are other friendly golf clubs.
Yeah.
But this does get a reputation of being friendly, and it kind of sets it aside.
Yeah, and I think we've kind of already experienced that, because like I say, we've been doing this journey for just over a year now, and you get very different receptions at some courses. But yeah, here has been exceptionally friendly and a very warm welcome we've had from Hindhead. I think we've both felt that pretty strongly, haven't we? I think from all the interactions we've had with everyone from Hindhead.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we sort of walked through the door and immediately sort of somebody said, "Oh, you must be the podcast guys," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, yeah." But you can't, as a casual golfer, but as somebody who we're visiting a lot of, the best courses in the country, but I mean that's just a tiny little thing. That's just somebody knowing who you are, acknowledging who you are, and also knowing about that. You know, so there's also been some kind of discussion somewhere for somebody at the bar to just go, "Oh, you're the podcast guys." So it just fills you with like a nice feeling about the club, and I think that makes a big difference.
Well, it's all about communication, isn't it? Good clubs, good communication.
Absolutely.
And if you've, if everybody's aware of what's going on, then that's a good thing.
Yeah, because I think for us, a lot of this is about the golf courses, but a huge chunk of it for us is also about the experience of going out on that day. It's not something we do regularly. Obviously, we do now, but we never did before. But that experience is it's a much better experience than when you go somewhere and you get that friendly welcome. Whereas sometimes you go to some clubs and you feel like you're an outsider and you don't feel welcome for that day. And ultimately you're probably paying a lot of money to go and play that round of golf, and you should have that. You should have that welcoming feeling. I think any club, any golf club, or any sports club ultimately, you should be getting that kind of welcome, shouldn't you?
Yes, and I'm very pleased you got that reception.
Big tick. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think so. Obviously, you hail from Scotland originally. So is that where you first took up golf? Is that?
Yes, I've played golf. I was very fortunate in Scotland. I grew up in a village, small village, but it had a golf course.
Okay.
It had a golf course in its outskirts. There's in every Scottish family, there's probably 2 or 3 sets of golf clubs, available. So the golf course was there. Youngsters, I'm probably talking, 13, 14-year-olds, you would do school holidays, you would go up and knock a ball around and that sort of thing, and think you might be interested in the game. It wasn't until I was about 18 that I actually decided that I enjoyed golf.
Yeah.
Got in with a bunch of friends who were golfers, and Scotland's a wonderful place to play golf. I mean, there's so many golf courses.
Yeah.
And you trip up over golf courses in Scotland, don't you?
And we'd go and play each other's golf courses, and members' guest rates in Scotland then, certainly then, I don't know now, but they were very, very, very reasonable indeed. So
I think we've got a few. Well, we're going to Scotland next weekend actually, so we've got a triple header in Scotland next weekend. But again, talking about that welcome and that, the Scottish welcome has been incredible so far. We were up at Glen Eagles and we had a great reception from our hosts there, and we're going up to stay with a friend of mine in Aberdeen to do a little triple header next weekend as well. But very much looking forward to getting up to Scotland to play some more golf.
Well, I hope the weather's like this when you get there.
Can you promise us that?
It's quite magical if you get good weather in Scotland. It's magical.
Yeah, there's nowhere better on earth to play golf. I don't think is you can get the weather. So we were talking earlier about, so obviously you were a friend of Peter Ellis. So I think we all feel like we know Peter just from listening to him on the commentary of TV. But what was he like as a man, kind of behind the cameras?
I thought he was a good friend of mine. I really do, and I really do miss him. He was a phenomenal person. I mean, his track record as a golfer. He only really played competitive golf for about 20 years. But he was a top European golfer for those 20 years, and he won in that time. He won 21 major competitions. Not what we call majors today, but Spanish Opens and Italian Opens and comps like that, and 8 Ryder Cup appearances. But fantastic golfer. Played with them all. Played with Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson. Heavy bias there, and could play with them all. He gave up golf and when he was 38 years of age, gave up competitive golf, 38 years of age, and coincidentally that's when the BBC in particular, maybe, and other, no, not in particular, because he worked for ABC Television, he worked for television companies all over the world really, but they started televising golf. And I think he must have been a natural for that. One of the most interesting things I found about Peter was that no matter where he went, no matter who he came across, no matter who he met, and no matter what the circumstances, his first words were always the most appropriate words you could think of.
Yeah, I just had a gift, didn't he? The way he described things and the way he drew you into the golf. I mean, all my early golf watching memories, there is one soundtrack, and that is Peter Ellis's voice. That's it, and it was just magical. I mean, I think we'll all echo you, Jackie. So we're all missing, because there's some moments in commentary you think, oh God, what will Peter Ellis say right now? It was great.
I mean, I think without that kind of coverage of the BBC on the Open, I don't think I would have ever played golf. I don't think I would have picked up a set of golf clubs. So I think it's probably, I think it's partially Peter's influence ultimately that kind of gets many people.
I believe the BBC audience, millions of people, but not all of them. In fact, only about 50% of them played golf.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people who watched it because it was entertaining.
It was entertaining,
And it was, the pictures were not too shabby either, golf courses and sunsets and whatever. But he listened and he observed, he could see things that, or he would notice things that I wouldn't notice. And he always listened. So and his retention, his brain was phenomenal. I mean, he could retain stuff, but he could recall it. He could bring it out. We certainly think, oh yes, it's give me a minute. But he could just reel it off. And then, of course, he spoke so eloquently as well. But,
I think the man had a natural talent, I think, for golf commentary.
Absolutely, which is a flow to his voice, wasn't there? That just kind of set you at ease, and it felt like a calm experience, didn't it? Watching the golf, it was wonderful. It really was.
He did all those shows I've mentioned earlier, over 100, one-man shows.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that he got very concerned about what he was saying and whether he was repeating himself. And especially if he went back to somebody he'd been before, he didn't want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But he'd only one life and only one experience.
Yeah.
So that's more or less what he talked about.
Was that Around with Alice? Was that? There was a program called Around with Alice that he did as well, and I remember watching.
There was
that.
a couple of television programs that he fronted. One was Around with Alice when he took famous people of the day, and they would go and play 9 holes or 6 holes of a golf course, and it was like a chat show. So he interviewed the person, and there would be the added bit of the golf. So there would be a golf game. Very famous one. They played with Dan Maskell, and Dan had he injured his thumb the day before, caught it in a lawnmower.
Okay.
And he really found it very difficult to play, and he had a terrible time. But the cameras. It was the only show that was ever edited.
Yeah.
The only golf show that was ever edited. But they managed to put together 9 holes.
Enough footage,
Footage and of course a lot of conversation. Both of them, were going back on tours. But it got to the 9th hole, and they managed to cobble the thing together that it was all square.
Oh, I see.
And Dan was getting a shot on the 9th hole, and blow me, he managed to put his ball on the green. Managed to 2-putt for a 3, so net 2.
Wonderful.
And Peter's about 20 foot away or something, and managed to hold it.
Nice bit of artistic license.
But the caption was, Dan Maskell nearly beats Peter Allen.
So did you play with Peter regularly then?
Many times when we played here, we'd come up here in a summer's evening, and just knock the ball around 9 holes. And he loved this golf course. He loved golf clubs.
Yeah.
He really did think golf clubs were wonderful places for, people to belong to and to be able to just go along. And they're quite unique golf courses, golf clubs. Because you can come along at 8 o'clock in the morning and get a cup of coffee or something and a newspaper to read or something, and you can go right through the day, and there's always something going on. There's always, the bar people to talk to, there's somebody on the putting green or whatever. And they're just, unique clubs that...
I think as a junior, I spent my life around golf clubs and golf courses, and I think I learned so much about life just being as part of a golf club. I think it was a real important part of my kind of formation as a person. It's a great environment to be around for sure, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that the sport of golf, I think, lends itself to that, because you're only really hitting the ball for 2 or 3 seconds at a time, and then walking for a few minutes. So there is that social and interactive element to that anyway, and you're not forced, because you will just do it naturally. We're all social beings, aren't we? But you want to get to know about the person who you're playing with, because that's kind of part and parcel of your 4.5 hours with them, 4 hours with them. I think that's what we find great about it as well, and going around and playing with new people and getting their stories. And
it's a wonderful education for young people. I was involved in Surrey for a few years, as you were saying, and to get young people into playing golf, and to get them to accept the integrity of playing golf, the etiquette, the respect that you have for the golf course and your playing partners. I mean, it really is a good training for young people. And I think that if you go through that, you're not going to be a bad person at the end of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Are there any good sort of juniors currently either at Hindhead or in Surrey that are coming through?
But lots and lots of them. I mean, there really are. It's I think golf is, and certainly in Surrey, golf has got its act together with getting young people into golf, and we struggle with girls.
Okay.
I mean, it's really very difficult to get young girls into golf. You know, young Lottie Ward here, up the road here, you know, obviously know her story. I mean, hopefully that might make a difference and encourage, you know, more young girls. But we have lots of young boys. The coaching programs are terrific nowadays, you know, and you know, we've got any number of young people that could eventually, you know, become, you know, they'll all become very good golfers.
Yeah.
Whether they'll become, you know, good professional golfers, you know, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular you feel that Surrey Golf do that is very good at attracting juniors into the game and keeping them involved in the game?
Yes, it is. That 20 odd years ago, Surrey started a thing called the Rookie Tour.
Okay.
And the Rookie Tour is for 8 to 14-year-olds.
Okay.
Junior golf programs start, you know, around about, you know, 12 and 14 or whatever. So this was to take the younger ones, and it's run through the summer holidays, and other times, maybe on a Sunday afternoon, we persuade a golf club to give us the course for it. And it's run as a tour. So the young people have to go along, register, you know, get ready, get out on the golf course. We'll have starters there, we'll have referees on the course, marshals maybe on the course.
Wow.
They then have to complete their card, they have to go into the, you know, the recorder's hut, if you like. They've got to submit their card, they've got to check it and sign it.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful discipline.
Yeah.
And these kids respond to it. They really do
Of course.
love it. And
That's the
again,
full experience, isn't it? That's
and that's been remarkable. I think all our good players now, all our first team players, probably now have come up, or most of them, maybe not all of them, but most of them have come up through the Rookie Tour. It's a great start.
Yeah.
Other counties are now introducing it, and you know, that's a good thing. It's I hope it spreads. And it's wonderful seeing these young kids, you know, 9 and 10-year-old, and they all look like, you know, the boys look like miniature Rory McIlroy. They turn up, they've got the cap, they've got the outfit. And it's great to see it, the young girls, you know, the same. You know, absolutely wonderful, and a great programme.
So it sounds like you've been in and around golf for most of your life. What changes have you seen throughout that period, and what do you see for the future of golf?
Changes. I think the biggest change I've noticed is slow play.
Yeah. What do you think is the root cause of that?
Well, I think television and the professional game has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, those fellas can waste a lot of time on the golf course, and of course, people watch them and copy them. But I think it's just a general discipline. It's been allowed to deteriorate. I mean, nowadays, you know, I say nobody wants to be out there for 5 hours, and I don't think anybody does want to be out there for 5.
Yeah.
But people find it acceptable to be out for 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
You go, I mean, I used to play Muirfield twice a year, and it's probably still the same today. But 18 holes at Muirfield is 2.5 to 2.75 hours.
Yeah.
You know, but it's 2 ball.
Yeah.
It's foursomes, or it's you know. Now, obviously, 4 ball is going to be longer than that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that much longer.
Yeah.
We're making it too long. So
Yeah.
ready golf's been a good thing. That's been a good
Yeah.
you know, innovation. And let's hope we can, you know, keep that going and get the times down a bit.
Yeah. because it's different. I mean, we've got young children and jobs and all, so it's genuinely difficult to go and fit around a golf, and it's definitely changed my attitude to golf in terms of how how possible it is for me actually to go and to be a member of somewhere and go and play regular golf. It's a huge chunk of your weekend that's taken up that you don't really have when you've got young children and various other things going on.
Jack, what's the best round of golf you've ever shot around Hindhead?
Around Hindhead?
Mm.
Gosh, that's a good question. I've won a couple of tournaments here over the years. I don't remember the best round ever. I shot a 73 at Gillen once. But that's when I was very young. I think round here maybe my best gross score would be, I don't know, 76 or 77.
Right.
But that's
today then.
that's 20 years ago, you know. That's at least 20 years ago.
And do you have a favourite golfing memory of kind of Hindhead over the years?
Golfing memory at Hindhead, lots and lots of golfing memories at Hindhead. One of the things I do remember quite often is that my year of captaincy, the junior captain was a young man called David Corbin. He's been a member here for a long time. He was a junior here, but he's one of the best amateur golfers.
Right, okay.
He and another young Surrey boy, Harry Crockett, just won the Sunningdale foursomes. You know, and one of the Sunningdale foursomes is one of the premier championships in this country, and it's absolutely incredible. But in 2004, I played with David in a I can't remember the competition. It was captain, junior captain, maybe president or something, or ladies captain or whatever. I don't actually remember the format, but what I do remember is that that day went round this golf course in 62 shots.
Wow.
Oh wow. So it's doable. It's doable.
It wasn't a round. It wasn't a stroke play. It was a match play.
Yeah.
So there was probably a couple of gimmies in there.
Yeah.
But those gimmies would have been. I remember that day, and they would have been, less than 12 inches or something.
Yeah.
But it was just incredible to see a young fella like that.
Yeah.
Been able to do that. That was good. I remember Peter Alice came round here, and he went. We went round the front nine, and from the third, he went 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the bar then, is it? We've got to try and measure up to that today.
Well, we have when we play each of these courses to sort of keep ourselves semi-motivated if we're getting beaten up by the golf course. We do a number of little side challenges and things like that. So actually the side challenge for today is that it's the lowest net score on the front nine, because that front nine does look absolutely spectacular. So yeah, that's a pretty stiff challenge, isn't it? If you're getting to threes all the way from the third hole in. Do you have a particular hole here that's your absolute favourite to play?
No, I think all the holes here. I really do enjoy all the holes, and your favourites tend to be the ones you play well. I don't know if I've found any particular hole here that I play well consistently. I've probably birdied most of them, but that's over 50 years. But it's a very forgiving course. The front nine particularly is the valley holes. So if you're slightly offline, you get a nice kick down onto the fairway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
If you're super wild, then okay, you're up in there,
yeah.
I'm not looking at anybody, Chris.
just don't go there. Yeah, but it can be forgiving.
Yeah.
The greens are lovely. The greens, I think you'll find the greens are excellent.
Mm.
So
Yeah, well, we just walked in and just had a little look at the 18th. They look absolutely spectacular.
but
Immaculate.
what you have to be careful of is there's lots of slopes.
Okay.
The greens, there's quite a few slopes, and they're not that obvious. So the greens might appear to be very fast. If you've got a downhill putt here, and it can go, you can lose it.
Okay.
But it's because of the slope as much as the speed of the green.
Okay.
Wonderful. Is there any hole that you, every time you come to it and you stand on the tee and you go, I just need this to be over as soon as possible?
No, I don't think there is. The short holes, the third hole's a lovely hole, great hole.
Spectacular, the par threes.
And our signature hole has become the sixth hole, which is the short downhill hole. Not really the best hole in the golf course, but it's people get a buzz playing downhill, don't they?
Yeah.
For some reason. The 10th hole is another very good hole, but I mean they're all good. They've all got their own characteristic. We don't have. It's not a long course. We don't have. The length isn't the important thing here.
Yeah.
Accuracy is what you should be looking for.
Yeah. I think we played Glen Eagles recently. We played Kings and Queens, and we felt just from looking at the visuals, it's got a feel of the Queens course a little bit, just in terms of some of the vistas and some of the drops in undulation and changes in
Pine trees and heather.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a fantastic time there, didn't we?
We
I think
did,
we were like two excited schoolgirls. I think when we were playing there, just giddy every time we hit a tee, didn't we? I think we were sort of stood in each tee box, taking a picture, and I was like, this is amazing. I mean, it's why we do this. It's the score is actually incidental, isn't it? For us, it's just more the experience of the day, the
It's a fantastic golfing venue, isn't it? It's just a great place to go.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bucket list trip for us, and we took good full advantage. I think, didn't we? We stayed over in the hotel and things like that. So yeah, I was living out my Ryder Cup fantasies. I think playing at Glen Eagles. We cannot thank you enough for your time.
Very well.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and yeah, I think we will take a few of your tips out with us today on the course. We'll try and stay out of the heather as much as we can. I've got new golf shoes, so I probably better not wreck them. That's the motivation for doing that. But thank you for your time, Jack. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been a pleasure talking to you boys, and enjoy your game.
We shall.
That was a great chat with Jack. He was a true gentleman of golf, very generous with his free time today. And you know what? He's an absolute credit to the club. And he's been a good servant to the county as well. And he's given us some information about how juniors are getting through in the county, because Surrey do quite well with that. And he served both with amazing distinction. So thank you to Jack, thank you to Chris for organising that. And I think it's time that we actually turned onto the golf and what actually happened out there on the greens, which by the way were magnificent. We keep saying I think we've had 3 courses on the trot now where we've sort of said they were the best greens ever, they were the best greens ever, but they were the best greens ever.
I think between this and Ganton, I think they were
Carpets.
Yeah.
Slick, but carpets.
Slick.
Yeah.
Did you putt off the green twice?
more than that. I think it was
More
at
than
least 3 or 4 times.
Just
Your putter was quite hot today.
It was good though, wasn't it? I was knocking in a
your
few
putter was
6
hot
to 8
today.
footers in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Shut
I was
up.
never
It's-
nervous.
it's- it's-
They great, but I mean anything beyond 30 feet and you were.
I was never nervous when you were 6-8 foot away over these. It's in the who.
I'm gonna live
It took
stat
you
this
4
in a
putts
minute.
to get there.
I've had like 24 putts today or something like that. So
What's the machine telling you?
I'm gonna 37 putts. There you go. Now, what are you on about?
37.
So
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Is that 2?
Too well. It's fine. Anyway, let's talk about. We should get our side bet and signature hole challenge out of the way. So we got Tony and Andrew involved in the signature hole challenge, which is a spectacular par 3. It's probably not the best par 3 here, I don't think. So I think that third still did it.
I actually think that's probably one of my least favourite par 3s
Yeah.
of the par 3s we
Yeah.
played today.
People like this drop in elevation
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
don't they? Whereas, that never does it for me.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's not that difficult a hole if you choose the right club,
Yeah.
to be fair. I mean, it's, it isn't really. It's,
But I think even just like visually, I think some of the other par threes were much better
I think the
looking.
third is
Third is
spectacular.
beautiful.
Cracker.
Spectacular.
Which is the one that's the really tricky? Is it the like the fifth or sixth? Or
No, it was
something,
this eighth,
eighth, the long one,
long,
the
yeah.
tiny green. I mean, that's a
Yes.
tough par three, but
where you drove it through, in
Yeah.
fact.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually hit a good shot there.
Yeah, that was a great, that was a great
That was the
shot.
one shot I hit all day.
But you should have hit a 5-line, not a
I should.
4-line.
I hit one too.
But I think, you know, for completeness' sake, so what did you score on the sixth par three? What was your total score? There wasn't one, was there?
Must have been close
No,
to 3.
no.
No, because you lost
Yeah.
your ball, so I would say like nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, yeah. So like
I'll
zero.
get
It's
five.
like one better than a hole in
Only
one.
because I parred it. I just
Hashtag winner, done.
Yeah.
That signature hole nail.
I mean, I think I have probably spent more on lost golf balls today than I spent on the green thing. I think that's kind of that gives you a
Didn't you? How many
I've done
Pro
great.
V1s did you pick
I've
up
probably
today?
picked up 6 Pro V ones today.
There we
You
go.
know,
That's
it's-
two
in.
listen, we're Northern
They're
boys,
all
right? So
Tonys.
we've come
Yeah.
down to the south.
A lot of them are mine.
Yeah.
Anyone with 3 stripes on them can have back.
Yeah, we've come down south and we're just like cleaning up here. Got a lake ball business going just from doing one around it. It's
Just
great.
walk around the heather at Hindhead, you collect about 100 balls in
It's
this
amazing.
thing.
People just left a Pro V1 in. This is amazing. So we also then had a side bet, and we should talk about the front nine versus back nine thing. We made a big deal of it, and the front nine, when you look at all the pictures and videos and things like that, looks spectacular, and it was
It genuinely was
spectacular.
genuinely spectacular. I think one of the things that you don't necessarily get from looking at the pictures and the images is just like the wildlife. The wildlife is just kind of wild deer roaming around, and like the vastness of it. Like it genuinely is like God's country. It's genuinely spectacular.
I took a picture on every single tee on the front nine.
That's pretty normal for you, isn't it, Nish?
I mean, it is, but I also it's accompanied by wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like it
Yeah.
was a visual feast. We were expecting that. You know, we were expecting certainly the front nine that we were going to be like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
right up our street. Now we had a side bet on that, which was the lowest net score.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is, but I know wipe the floor with you, which is
I'm
so
not
good.
sure I even scored on any of the holes. On the
It
front nine.
feels so fucking good to say
I
that.
think you might have done on one.
Maybe what?
I just
Do you look at the damn
should have put
thing?
some
No,
money on
no,
it, shouldn't we? Should have put some money. I
Yeah.
think we got to the back nine. That was the first hole. I was like, I think this is where the first hole you've outscored me. I'm like, oof, yeah, brutal day. I'm afraid, Chris. Sorry to keep bringing it up, but I'm sorry, not sorry. And the interesting thing, I mean, you guys picked up on it as well because, as avid listeners, you have picked up on the fact that we did do this whole front nine versus back nine thing. So you did ask us a couple of times. You know, we're interested to know what your actual thoughts are. What do you think of the back nine? So I'll tell you mine in a bit. But Chris, what were your thoughts of the back nine? Maybe not versus the front nine. We'll do that in a minute. But just the back nine in general.
I mean, I just thought, individually, I think every single hole out there at Hindhead is just a spectacular golf hole.
Yeah.
Whichever way you look at it, whether it's in a valley or whether it's up on the plateau, like, and I said this to you kind of played about 14, 15, I was like, there is not a single bad hole we've played today. But not even close to that. I think normally when we've played, you pick out a section or a segment of 3, 4, 5 holes and you go, I really enjoyed that stretch.
Yeah, that stretch. Yeah.
But every single hole today I've enjoyed almost equally for different reasons. But
There wasn't a boring point and click hole anywhere.
no, there isn't. There isn't at all.
You know, even the ones where you look at it and you go, that's a wide open fairway. And there were a couple of occasions where you look at it and you go, like pretty much a 70-degree angle of vision. It's just all fairway. But actually, that whole dog legs. So it is straight and like it's a good easy target visually. But so if you go too long, you're in some heather. So there's something to still occupy your brain there, and there's something to plot around.
Yeah.
There's something to think about, and I really liked that. I'm going to use a big word here. The juxtaposition of this visually spectacular front nine, where you look at it and you go, God, keep it straight. If I don't, I've had it. But then also, if you're kind of a little bit left or right, it kicks in and gives you a fair crack at it.
Well, it did for you. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, so
Did you have glue on your balls or something? That just stuck out?
today that ended up like 6 feet from the pin. But anyway,
I mean, is it a bad shot if it ends up 6?
No, it sounds pretty good.
Sour grapes. I think, but the thing with the back nine is you could that was an opportunity at that point to plot your way around the golf course and think about your golf a little bit more, rather than just I need to get it in the middle and then take it from there. So there were a lot of times where you went, actually, if you end up left here, that's the right side to then approach the green. If you're right, you've got less of a view of it. That was fascinating to me, and that's interesting thinking golf. The only slight issue maybe I have with that is that because you've done this whole epic up and down, I mean, it's a calf buster, isn't it? That front nine. It's an absolute calf buster. Because you've done that in the front nine, I think you're kind of like knackered by the time you get to the back nine and you go,
Yeah, it's
oh,
true.
right, I've got to think about this now, and I've got to actually like engage my brain and decide what I'm going to do. There's a lot of times you could probably just lay up and then that will give you a good approach shot rather than just get your driver out. So I thought it was a really interesting course exactly for that.
and I think we compared it off the pictures and videos that we'd seen to Queen's, didn't we? And I think it's almost like Queen's but more grown up. So Queen's was beautiful and it had the beauty and it
That's
had
the phrase I used to Andrew.
But it's exactly that. It's Queen's, but it's more of a grown up. So it's more like a kind of Ganton feel. Like it's got that.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, prestige kind of
Gravitas.
feel about it.
Gravitas.
Yeah, fine.
It's got gravitas.
I'll
It's
take
got,
that.
I think it's got like it's a proper golf course.
Yeah, like it's a challenge, isn't it? It's a proper challenge.
Yeah.
But it's also.
So Hindhead is actually ranked 91 on our list, and we both said that feels completely wrong, doesn't it?
Completely wrong.
Totally wrong.
Well, yeah, and I think obviously, you guys are coming from me. It's not really a bias point because you've done 62 courses or 61 courses, so you have experienced them and you know where you're at with that. Yeah, it feels it's pitched wrong, and is that somebody getting the wrong end of the stick with the course? I'm not sure.
Maybe they didn't play it very well and they were pissed off with it because it was too hard.
Yeah.
Rain.
You never know. The
Yeah.
6 people, who 5 or 6 people that tried to rate it went, fucking hate this course.
Yeah.
It's people I've been in the heather all fucking down. I've 25 balls. Yeah, I don't like it. And it's as simple as that.
Andrew's beating me today. I hate this course. I hate
Yeah,
this course.
exactly.
Yeah, I think like that golf was great today. It really not our golf, sorry, but like the golf course, the golf. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good fun.
Start to finish, it was.
Serious.
Yeah.
Visually stunning. Couple that with your mate to feel
Lots
like
of deers.
we
How many
did.
deers do we see?
We saw
No
lots
idea.
today.
Yeah.
Half a dozen?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I saw-
and they're not
I saw
kangaroos,
Rolls
mate.
mostly in the woods, but yeah.
Unfortunately, he thinks they're kangaroos because that's what he thinks is on the flags. But eventually, he'll get educated and he'll find out.
And then jump.
But it's an interesting question for you two, actually, because you now played so many courses, and we've spoken about this, so it's kind of revisiting a chat that we've had while we're playing golf. But what do you think about where Hindhead fits on that list, and also then
What, like where in the top 100 should it be?
Correct.
As far as we're concerned with what we've played so far.
Yeah.
Are you going first?
Oh, I'm going to go first because
Right.
you stalled. I don't know. I mean, I'm from Australia. I love
Really?
No way.
Hang on a minute.
love
Shock,
links
horror.
courses.
Yeah.
I mean, I just absolutely adore links courses. So I actually think that the fact that Parkland Heathland courses shouldn't be that high is fair. But when you actually look at some of the Heathland courses that rate above Hindhead, I am scratching my head. The front nine is stunning, visually sort of unique compared to what we've seen. We've not seen any courses where you get that sort of glacial sort of feel.
No, they're all flat and boring.
I love it.
It
Yeah.
should be higher, but I also suspect that every club member is always going to promote his club as being where it's
yeah.
rated. So
I think we agree with you. I think this feels like the most misplaced club that we played.
But also you've got, you know,
Dun,
60, 65 out of the top 100 are links.
yeah, I think
Maybe nearly 70.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, that's reasonably high percentage. So, you know, what does that mean? You know, why are 65 to 70% of the course in the top 100 links courses? You know, that's something that needs to be looked at because of what, you know, why?
That course out there today, that had everything that I want in a golf course. It really did. So I love a golf course with trees. Like trees, I want to hit birds and things like that. Yeah, I think it lends itself to more interesting topography of a golf course. There's more interesting stuff in your eye line. And I think it was the right side to challenge that. I think you could go there, you could probably be a bit conservative if you wanted to, and you could score really well, or you could just go for it and then just take it as it comes and then just experience an up and down round.
Yeah.
We could walk off that and go, that was brilliant.
But if someone said to you prior to playing this course, oh, by the way, Hindhead is number 42. Would you be sitting here today going, 42? Are you having a laugh?
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not at all.
you'd just be going, 42? Sounds about right.
All right, yeah.
You know, considering the other courses that you have to consider that are, you know, I mean, let's face it, there are circa 2,000 courses in the whole of UK and Ireland, and we're playing the top 100, so we're playing the top 5%. So let's face it, they're all good courses, aren't they? All of them are good courses.
Yeah.
But, you know, as I said earlier, if you'd said it's, oh, by the way, it's 42, 43, you go, oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's not, it's 90, whatever.
Yeah.
91.
Yeah.
And I think I'd quite happily put it in the top 20. I mean, obviously we've not played a lot of the top rated courses yet, but it's in the top 1 or 2, possibly 3.
Yeah,
we've
I mean,
played
this
so far.
do you know what? This is seismic, this, because so what you're saying is in top 1 or 2 alongside Ganter.
I think this and Ganter would probably be my two
You know, and we're talking to this is a staunch Cumbrian, right? And I genuinely think Silicon Solway will get knocked off that top 2 spot.
I mean, Silver's is a great track, so you should come and play. We'll come.
We'll all play
Silver
Silver together because I'd love to play there again.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, these are interesting times. You know, Chris, all of your previous almost expectations. I think you admitted it.
Yeah,
it's like
Silver's one.
It's going to be
what happens.
Silver's going to be in the top 1. You know, I think that was your attitude almost, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But
we wasted our time playing
it's-
the 99.
and what we played 11, and 2 of them have jumped above.
You've actually got that in front of you. I mean,
Yeah.
the top 100 is fabulous. Every course. We've never walked off Parkston.
You know,
Never
I don't think Parkston's
walked off
that
a
bad,
course
to be fair.
not actually thinking that was fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, apart from
We-
that
No
one.
matter what they're rated. I mean, you know, 99 rated, which was Moortown, I think is
It's
99.
down there, yeah.
Loved it. 2 of the best holes I've ever played, the 10th and the 18th. I just thought, what great holes.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
like the old
98.
course, the Castle course, I mean, at St Andrews, like,
Yeah.
what a great course.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
So there's nothing you're going to actually play that you're not going to like.
Exactly.
Maybe
It's
Parkston.
good and gooder or whatever you call it. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to, did you enjoy the day?
Yeah.
And that can be certain factors, weather, and
Score.
basically your own.
Some of us enjoy
personal
it better than
experience.
others.
You know, that's really what it
Absolutely.
comes down to. Because as I said earlier, let's face it, they're all good courses.
Yeah.
To be in the top 100 out of 2,000 courses,
Yeah.
you know, you've got to be quite good.
Yeah.
Whoever is rating them, they've got to be quite good.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to personal experience.
Yeah.
You know, simple as that.
I feel like normally we get quite forensic with the golf courses, and we'll probably try and describe them in quite great detail. I feel like we probably, if somebody's listening to this thinking, yeah, maybe I will go and play Hindhead, I feel like we'll do them a disservice by being ultra descriptive of what we've just done, because I think that voyage of discovery on this course would be, I wouldn't want to deny somebody that, a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that me doing a cop out for not having to describe the
No, I think you're right. I think it's something
That's all.
you've got to experience. I think
Yes.
it's so unique. I think
That's
you can look
it.
at the pictures and it looks beautiful and it's stunning, but I think actually just walking through those valleys and walking down those, standing on those tees and walking down those fairways is not something we've experienced so far playing the top 100 at all.
Well, I think you're right. I think you should let people
Discover
listen
it.
to this and then play,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
let them have. Let's see what they think.
And actually, do you know, come and experience the club, because there is such a friendly atmosphere as soon as you walk in that I think it puts you at ease. You're not going to feel like you're in a snooty top 100 club.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel like you're out of place. Everybody said hello. Everybody was kind. Everybody was polite. Everybody was courteous, and it's just it just validated everything we were expecting from our day to day. And we're not saying that because we've got 2 members sat with us who were actually bigger than us, so they could probably beat us. Yeah,
Not as fast as us, I reckon we could run away.
Yeah, you can certainly outrun one of us.
yeah. Well, look, we've had an amazing day today. We've said it a few times, and we'll keep saying it till we're blue in the face. But thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Tony.
Absolutely.
You've been
Absolutely.
gems, and what a wonderful day it was today. And Andrew, we have the pleasure of your company tomorrow. We're playing Hackney Common, so
Correct.
yeah. So
Andrew's not playing after seeing me today.
Unless of course his knee goes off.
We're doing-
In which case I'm ready and
We're doing
ready to
steps.
roll.
we're going to do 666. He's going to throw the balls. We're going to rig it so I'm on his team.
Exactly.
Just put that one with a little finger.
I'm not playing with Chris again.
Oh,
Fuck
I
that.
wonder what happened is I've not even thrown it. So it's fine. But yeah, thank you, gentlemen. That was absolutely wonderful.